Nice.
I guess she's going to continue though, keeping up with those guys on the newsletter and then her Instagram, huh? Or she's because
Talking about
it's hard to
Joel's
do that
daughter,
with a
Brian.
Royal typewriter.
Yeah, well, I told her I was going to tell you guys, and she
The
was,
regular typewriter, huh? They're starting using whiteout too.
Yeah, she gets
I guess so.
she's white out and everything. I'll send her a care package. I learned how to type on a manual typewriter. I could type back then. I could type 70 words a minute, like not on the electric, where you had to like turn
Oh,
the carriage back and all that.
Yeah.
I can't say I did it without any mistakes, but I did it.
well,
Well, that's what I remember about term papers. I don't remember the term papers I wrote in high school. I just remember sitting there, and if you made a mistake on the last line, you had to start all over again with that page. And it was like crazy.
the blue books.
Yeah. Oh,
The
God.
blue
Yeah.
books, yeah.
Oh, anyway, Mr. Foulon called me earlier this afternoon. Barry is in the hospital.
What?
He's been on antibiotics for 3 days. They're treating him. I asked him if it was sepsis. He says they're treating him to make sure he doesn't get sepsis. But if you're on antibiotics for 3 days already, he probably got it, So, but he's going to check in with. He's not going to log in, but he sounded okay, but he's not going to check and get on with us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he'll probably watch the YouTube. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
a lot of people watch those things. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Joan watches them all the time.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so he will not be with us today, which cuts down quite a bit of the conversation because he knows a lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
What hospital is he in? Do you know? Or
He's in Oxnard.
Oh, Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
Out on Jefferson Highway, I guess.
Yeah.
Hate to hear that.
Mike was going to try to get on. He had contacted
Yeah.
Tom earlier, but we'll see.
He's trying to phone in. So I sent him all the information I knew about it. I don't know how to get on with the phone, but I don't know how to do anything with this Zoom stuff. It's always so different. Because I can't see what you guys see, and it's nuts.
Oh, you can't?
You can't?
No, I can't. I can
Here
see.
comes Mike. Here comes Mike, apparently.
Hey, Mike.
John. All right.
Hey, holy mackerel, I got in.
Wow.
We hear
yeah.
you. We hear you.
Hold on a second. I still need to finish connecting here. I
you
can
get-
see you, Tom.
Turn your camera on and you're in business.
Well, I'm trying,
He's
okay.
on-
There
Hey,
you go.
Oh, there you are.
Hey.
Hey, I look like a
Good to
beach
see you,
whale.
Mike.
How are you guys?
Hey, you look like Jeff used to
I'm
look.
good.
I
Yeah.
look like what? I'm
Anyway.
comfy in a nice hospital bed with a lot of people taking care of me. So, hi, guys, how the hell are you?
You're doing
Good.
great.
Doing
I'm
good.
glad you called in. Or you
Yeah.
zoomed in.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
We love your new do.
Yeah.
I had a fun time. This nice lady from Visiting Angels came in and shaved me. But the right side of my head, the beard was a little bit smaller, less thick than the left side. So when she got here, I said, "Do you like having fun?" She said, "Oh yeah." And I told her what I wanted to do: cut the hair and shave the beard on the right side, leave the left side long, and then take a picture. And she did. It didn't come out as well as I wanted, but goofy I am anyway. And I thought the picture turned out to be kind of fun. So, what the hell?
Good.
But,
Well, Mike, Joan sent this in. I'll read it to you. Thought I had just seen a picture of him on Facebook having gotten a facelift. Mike, if you get this, as I will not be on the Zoom, healing thoughts across the miles. I still have my Washboards Forever t-shirt.
cool.
Joan.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, I don't know if I sent you guys a picture of the beginning of the Washboards International display at a museum here. That's my washboard and Jerry Sacco's and some others. I'll send it to Bill and Tom
Okay.
for
Yeah.
future use. But Yeah, I had to, it was getting too much trouble to take care of myself at home with a couple of issues. So we just got in touch with hospice about a month ago, and they were coming out the house for a while. And then it got to the point where I just needed to go into a place, and I had to take some of the load off of my sister because she's dealing with not only me, but one of my brothers whose health is bad as well. And it was getting too much for her.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable here, and they come in and take good care of me and feed me three meals a day, which is too much. I'm not eating much. And things. So, you know the situation I'm in, and it's fine. I'm happy. I'm taken very good care of. I have a lot of people working here who are a lot of fun to hang out with.
Well, that's good.
What more can you ask for at this stage of the game?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
You have a roommate or anything? Or you by yourself in there?
No, I'm by myself. Luckily, I wouldn't deal well with a room with a roommate, but luckily things fell in place to have a private room. It's not real big. I was in a respite facility for 8 days, 7 days, where they put you in there after so long to take the load off the caregiver. And this happened so suddenly. I just went from being out and about to in January to just slowly sliding downhill to then all of a sudden it's like falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
And I've got everything in place that I need to have taken care of. I've sold my car. My driver's license won't expire. I'm not even going to try to renew it because I'm not getting out of this place, and that's fine. And
Well,
quite frankly, the quicker I leave this place in the other direction, the happier I'll be.
Well, that was good to see you. and hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, Bill, you from dealing with helping with Bonnie's father for years and stuff. Did you say he had COPD?
He did. He had COPD, and he had heart issues as well.
Yeah, well, I don't have the heart issues, but the COPD is what's getting me.
But we were able to keep him at home and give him the medication we needed to keep him comfortable when he was on home hospice. We did it for him here. Bonnie and I did.
Yeah,
And
but
we-
you had
Hey, Ken.
Take care.
Hey,
Hey, Ken.
hey, guys.
Yeah.
you had the two of you, and I mean, home hospice was coming into the house a couple of days a week and helping with things, but it's got to be too much for my sister and stuff. So we made the decision and got all the paperwork done, and we've applied for the Medicaid assistance and
Yeah.
things. And I hope to be around for a little bit yet. I've got a few things to take care of, but other than that, I'm in a great place mentally and with this facility. They're wonderful people. The only great place I'm not in is physically, and well, we all know what that's like.
Well, Barry Foulon gives his regards to you too, Mike. I told him you were planning to be trying to get on today, but he unfortunately is in the hospital today. He's being treated for something like sepsis. He says he's been in there for 3 days on antibiotics. He's going to be in a while longer.
Oh, shit, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. But he sounded good, and he says he didn't say they were officially diagnosed sepsis, but they were trying to prevent it, so they have him on strong antibiotics. And so he won't be joining us today, but he did want to make sure everybody knew that he was. And I told him, I said, we'll talk about you while you're not there anyway.
Well, give him my best and everything. Howdy, Chris. Give Barry my best when you talk to him. I'm not going to last very long today. I'm already running out of breath. I've had a number of people from the nursing home in today. It's actually, I'm under hospice care, but it's at a nursing home. And been dealing with some issues and things. I didn't think I was going to get on here today. Zoom was giving me all kinds of trouble. And then I finally figured out how to get in. So I'm thankful for that. But I'm going to try to join you guys every Thursday that I can. And albeit a short period of time, but I wanted to check in and say howdy. And
Yeah.
I watched parts of the last couple of weeks. And Kent McBride stopped by yesterday, spent some time with me. So that was nice to catch up with him. There's a great picture.
I know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good picture.
Well,
We had a good time that day, didn't we, Chris?
That was a heck of a visit. We went to a great bar. You took me up to your place. It was covered in 4 feet of snow.
Yep. 10,370 feet up in the Rockies.
Wow.
Wow.
It's too bad you weren't here in the spring or summer, Chris, because we could have spent a couple of nights up there and just sat around the deck and drinking various adult beverages and watching the stars and if we got lucky, a helicopter would land to take somebody out that hurt themselves on the glacier. Well, that's not nice to say getting lucky that somebody hurt themselves, but you know what I mean.
Well, it was a great visit anyway. I tell you that.
Well, and you got to see where the cabin is, and it's I haven't been up there now for a couple of years. I just can't go up that high anymore.
Yeah.
Hell, I can't go up high enough to stand up. You know.
Yeah, people,
But anyway, that's a great picture.
Yeah.
The guy to my left is Peter Babcock's son, the one right behind Peter. That's Peter Babcock's son, and he took his own life last December.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
yeah, see, little Ira, and
That was Connecticut.
yeah.
And that's Bob Adams, isn't it?
Bob
Yeah.
Evans.
And Joan Dragon.
Okay.
That
So-
was some good times in Connecticut.
Was that the first reunion in Connecticut, or was that another?
No,
show?
no. That was the Great Connecticut Traditional Jazz Festival.
Okay.
It was not a reunion, a mustache reunion at all. Ira took care of all the bars at the festival, and it was at an old resort with tents, set up with tents, and it was a resort where people would come and stay with cabins, and they had these game rooms and stuff where you get access to the Connecticut River. And we did a washboard concert at that festival from '96 to 2005. And this was after one of the washboard concerts, but I think it was 3 years we did the Mustache Reunion Band that you guys have got videos of.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, I think you sent me videos of those.
Yeah, some of them,
a couple
they
of
weren't the best videos, but they served the purpose.
them. Yeah.
Well, here's another Peter Babcock picture.
Yeah, that was I believe that was Monterey. Yeah. I don't remember what year, but well, I just don't know.
I think that was Carnegie Hall.
That's what I
Rehearsal.
thought.
That may have been, but it would have been at a rehearsal in the afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
That looks like Tim Greeley on washboard. I think that's Tim Greeley on washboard sitting there.
Yep.
So I think you're right. That was Carnegie Hall. Boy, that was great times.
Yeah, Peter Babcock can have some strange looks.
Did I ever send you guys a picture of him with his head shaved?
I don't think so.
Not that I
Yeah,
remember.
I thought I sent it to you, and I don't know if I have it in my phone or not. I'll see if I can find it. My computer's back at the house, and I don't have access to it anymore. But I'll see if I've got so much crap in my phone; it's hard to find anything. But I'll see if I can find the picture of Peter with his head shaved. It's really, after you've seen him when he was younger with all that big head of black hair and the huge what's his name, Coco mustache. What was that comedian? Somebody Coco, James Coco.
Yeah.
Anyway, something like that. But I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. I think this is another one you sent me a while back, Mike. But I don't.
Yeah, that's the Denver Mustache Band.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody except the two guys straight behind the microphone were substitutes that night. And we took the picture for a promo for a gig at a church we were doing about a month later. So we had subs and we didn't have any choice. But pretty much the banjo player, all the way to the left is Joe Petrocelli, which you guys know, and then me, and then our trumpet player. All the way to the right is bass and piano, and then Jimmy the drummer. We've all played together for well over 20 years.
It looks
Um,
like a bowling team.
Yeah, kind of. That's
That's
at a place called the Bull and Bush. And Joe Petrocelli and the piano player and I have worked together on and off since 1970. So it's a hell of a band, and you can find us on youtube.com/washboardsint.
And where did y'all usually play?
This was a place called the Bull and Bush in
Yeah.
Glendale. We played there 2 Sundays a month for years, and we played before COVID. We were playing all over Denver area, and then COVID killed it. No, but the Queen City Jazz Band, who got you guys know Bill Clark and the Hot Tomatoes Jazz Orchestra. You probably don't know, but we're working all the time around Denver, along with 5 or 6 other bands, and then COVID killed it all. So
COVID
some of
killed
the
a
guys
lot.
are still working, but it killed the music and the guys that originated the Bull and Bush were banjo and piano players. One of them twins. One of them passed away about 12 years ago, and the other one's still alive, but in bad health. So his sons have taken it over and don't give a shit about the music. So that's a shame, but oh well. Hi, Gim.
How you doing, kid?
I'm hanging in there. Not
Good.
doing too bad today, but I was telling everybody else I gotta sign off here pretty quick because I'm running out of breath. But
Yeah, well, you can sit and listen to us for a while too if you run out of
well,
breath.
I can, but I need to do a couple other things.
Yeah.
And Kent can update you. He spent a fair amount of time with me yesterday,
Oh,
and he can update you a little bit too. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm gonna try to get back on next Thursday. So that's a great picture.
I love it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The yeah, I like that.
Very much.
That was the
But
50th.
anyway, it's great to talk to all of you. Tell Barry howdy. Anybody that talks to him, I hope he'll be fine. And I'll try to see you next week.
Okay.
Take care. Take care, Mike.
Hey, talk to you soon, Michael.
See you, Mike.
All right.
Thanks for checking
Bye.
in, Mike. Appreciate it.
See you, Kent.
We'll talk to you soon, big guy.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Can you see that picture?
Yeah, Big Bill and
Mhm.
Fred.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Kent sent this picture in.
Yeah.
A young Kent.
Yeah.
I see Barry in the back there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a good time. 1987.
So that was the one that that Joel rented that club from, or is this all part of the same thing?
Well, he did. There was a club the night first day we got there. There was a small gathering at a bar somewhere, and then we did. That was an outdoor thing. I mean, he even had ice cream carts. Came with everything was free, and then he rented the Silver State or I forget the name of the theater, and they turned it into a Your Father's Mustache Band stage, and they had the stage that turned around, and I don't know, it was 100 however many people it was. He paid for through a huge dinner, and then the band played, and then it was spectacular, and then brunch the next day over in Connecticut. So it was a very different party than the 50th reunion. Because there was no scheduled rehearsal for Carnegie Hall's a different animal. Carry me out brunch if I remember correctly. So, but it was fun. Jill didn't have a throw party.
Okay, well that was a good picture you sent in. Let me see if I can find any more. Okay.
Emily was telling us just before y'all all got on, if anybody else is following Brian, Joel's daughter, August, is got a big contract to write. And I don't know who the publisher was, but she said she got like
Not KNOPF. Not.
Had
Oh,
a
wow.
$100,000 contract to send a manuscript in for her next writing endeavor. So she's really moving up in the world.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I recently received one of her newsletters. Anybody else get one of those?
I
did.
just got it, but I haven't read the article yet.
Okay, she talks about writing a novel in there.
Well, she's got one that's about to be published. And then she was writing another, but now she's gone totally into this, especially because of the contract, into this anti-tech episodes. She's writing all about anti-tech and how we're too buried in tech and so forth. So it's going to be seeing what
That was the gist of her article in the Times.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the anti-tech thing. Yeah.
It sprang from that now she's got this huge contract.
Well, if the New York Times thinks it's worth the printing, it's worth proceeding on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nerds are not going to like that, though. The techie nerds.
No, I do not
Well, they know bloody well what they can do with themselves.
like that, is he?
Hey, Roger.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey,
Hey,
Roger.
Raj.
Roger.
How y'all doing there?
Yeah, we're
It's Mr. David.
Here's a little picture Roger can describe to us here.
That's just a marvelous picture. That was we were having record contest sales at this time period. So I had this picture taken in the back of the club, and then I made them into postcards, and I sent them out to all their clubs, warning them they don't have a chance to win a record contest. Great help next to me. And that's Greg Doolan right behind me. He came down from Chicago with Barry Kaiser and Will Soto. I have no idea who's in the mask. Neil Anderson, Marcus Kelly, Eric Nelson, and Scotty Hill, a great trombone player.
Oh yeah, Scotty was there when I was there. But, yeah.
Someday someone's going to hold these pictures. What kind of people were these?
We're having a before we open meeting here, so we're describing the night. Yeah.
Interesting times.
Hello, Ira. How are you?
yeah,
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Hey, Ira, you're early.
yeah.
He must have got to bed early last night. Or where is he?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Mike didn't join us today, huh?
He did. He just
You
got
just
off.
missed. You just
Oh, he was
missed him.
here?
Yeah, he talked for a long time. He got short of breath and had to
Okay.
take a break. But you
But
can
he
watch.
actually looks pretty decent for what's going on.
He does.
He just got a nice haircut and everything from his friend.
He says he's enjoying where he is. So
Okay, that's good. That's a positive sign.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
the
I spent
nicest-
about an hour there yesterday with him, and he's as he said, he's in pretty good spirits. I mean, he knows what's going on, but it's a nice facility. He's pretty much bedridden now because his lung capacity is pretty weak. But we had a great conversation where I'm going to go back more often.
Oh,
And we're going to try to record some of his stories.
Oh, that's great.
And we got off talking about Brussels, and he had we all had different perspectives of our experience at the Mustache. Band members is different than Billy and Tom and I, and guys who just were waiters, and David and Roger had a different experience because you were all over, and Billy and Tom and I were mostly just in New Orleans. So everybody's got a different perspective. And, Mike's done a whole lot of things, both with the Mustache and then with all the washboard stuff he did. And so we're going to try to capture a bit of that depending on, how long he's with us. And I don't know what we'll do with it, but, at least I'll have it.
Are you going to record
So-
it just like an iPhone or what?
Well, I just ordered a new digital recorder.
Audio or?
I used to, yeah, not just an audio recorder. I used to, when I worked for a couple different newspapers, and I used to interview people, worked for a radio station at one time in Boulder. And so I used to do a lot, just go out and interview people and record. So I'm going to do the same, depending on how his health is and, you know, all the variables of life.
Yeah.
We may do it via telephone, but it was good to see him. We've been close proximity, but, you know, life, we haven't spent as much time together as we always threaten to do. So I'm coming down. I'm coming to see you for lunch. Yeah, I'm coming to see you. And, you know, life happens. So as we get near the end of one or both of our lives, those things suddenly seem much more important.
Don't they? Yeah.
That's
That is
that's a
you
good
guys.
statement.
Is he going to stay in hospice?
Yeah, he's not checking out.
Yeah.
He's there.
That's
Yeah,
that's so strange because when Fred was dying, I was with him in Mississippi, and I was getting ready to leave. And when I left, his son called me and told me they took Fred over to hospice. Fred says, "I'm not staying here. I'm out of here. I want to go back to the hospital where the nurses are." Because he was,
That's a good attitude.
yeah. I told Dalton, I said, you know, I'm getting ready to get on a plane. I can't really. I spent a week down there with him. I said, I can't do anything. You're going to have to take care of this on your own. And he was real upset. I said, well, Fred's upset because he has more things he wants to do. That's all.
No, Mike was very much at peace with it. He realized, he said he got rid of his car, not going to renew his driver's license. His sister had been caring for him, but it was getting to be hard for her to take care of him at the house.
Yeah.
So he went to a facility that's devoted to hospice care. I did it with my dad and mom, and also with Bonnie's dad. And the advantage to hospice is they give you whatever you need to take care of them. They give you
There's a road rat back behind you.
no matter if it's medication, they don't do anything to cure you. You know, they won't. You know, but they give you anything you need to make you
They're not
comfortable.
doctors.
You know, and that's perfect. You know,
They keep you going
yeah.
to the best of their ability.
Well, and it was a real nice facility. When my mother-in-law was dying, boy, she was up in Minnesota, and some of the facilities that we'd go see her, and it's like, whoa, I don't ever want to be like this ever, you know? Yeah. And it was a clean, nice, everybody was really friendly. And it's what Mike said too. He's been very impressed with the staff. They can't give him enough bourbon that he would like to have. But he can have some. So I think there's morphine and bourbon involved, and that's a good thing at this stage, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bring them a bottle next time you go.
Yeah.
Well, I asked him, but he said, "Well, I don't know yet." I said, "Okay, but I'll just name me a brand and I'll sneak it in." I feel like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Sneaking some Jack Daniels, pint of Jack Daniels into the movies or something. But so,
well, they do warn you that how what the interactions are. But Bonnie's dad, we were able to give him some Chivas, you know, on demand, you know. So along with everything else, but it was
You can't. All of a sudden, these people, a lot of these elderly people, they're dying. They have a habit of drinking a little shot of bourbon in the afternoon with their friends or whatever, and all of a sudden you go into some of these facilities. Oh, they can't have that. But what the hell's wrong with you? They're going to get it. They've been doing this forever. You just can't stop. Let them go up peacefully. That happened with my mother-in-law. She was one of the facilities. It was fairly nice. But I went out to have lunch with her, and the guy at the next table just kept falling over with his face in his plate. I said, "Oh, geez, we got to get out of here." And she had little electric carts, you know, could drive around. And she said, "Roger, I want you to get my little electric cart. I want to get in it, and I'm going to drive back down that highway. I'm going back home." I said, she had a pistol, and that's what she had. My son would go over and visit her in the afternoon once she got back in her little condo. And they knew how to fix her little shot of bourbon and everything. You know, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah, my mother had she kept having seizures, and every time she'd have just a little seizure, they'd put her in the hospital, and it was horrible. Then then they let hospice come into the facility and they stopped doing that. So she'd have a seizure, but it didn't really matter. So she wouldn't have to be sitting in the
Oh.
hospital for a while.
Some of those places are not good at all. They're not trained, they don't care, they're just making an hourly wage and moving on.
No,
Well, and
she had-
some of it,
True.
like putting your mom in the hospital, sometimes they look at it to see what they can bill insurance,
yeah.
Yes,
and it becomes unfortunately becomes a financial decision rather than a what's good for the patient decision. You know, if we send them to the hospital, we can bill for this or something, and that's not the way it should be, but that's kind of the way it currently is. It appears. So
Well, it is a business.
Welcome to
Right.
America's health. Welcome to America's health
Yeah.
system.
you go
Exactly.
there. That's the sad thing
Exactly.
about America. We don't
Let me
take care of
assure you.
ourselves.
Let me assure you, it's not like this in any other country that's civilized.
We don't take care of them, and at all. A lot of people are get mentally ill. We don't take care of them. Don't take care of the elderly people,
Yeah.
and that's why they do strange things.
Mm.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a picture. Kent sent some nice pictures, so
Cool.
here we go.
That was Connecticut, I assume.
1987.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1987, right?
All right, there you go.
I was well trained to do the bar dance by my mentors, David and Roger in New Orleans, and my previous person, of course, Billy and Rick, and then of course my longtime roomie Tom. So it was you can tell I paid attention to the training there.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're into it.
You should have gotten Ronnie Sater up there.
He could have been on the ends. Who knows? You know.
Yeah.
I don't even know who took that picture. I don't even know how I got
Well, I
it.
think Ron, isn't he down here in the bottom right with his head?
That's Ron Sater on the bottom right.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Ron Sater.
Hmm.
I keep in touch with his not his wife, but his girlfriend periodically.
I'll bet you're right.
There he is.
Yeah.
I was talking to him one time. I said, Ron, you still got that good looking hat? He said, you better believe it.
Got a real straw hat, man.
Yeah.
That looks like a real straw hat.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's
Did you
too
see
hot.
that note from Joan Dragon about she's been in touch with Bob McKenzie?
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah, I
that.
saw that.
That's terrific.
I think it's great. I
Put him on the list, but he didn't come on.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bob since I don't know when. I think at one point we have oh, there you go. Look how strong that guy is, picking the whole keg. Damn.
Again, well trained. Roll out the barrels.
That's
How
right.
Yeah.
they
Yep.
could dance, they could pick up beer bells.
When we were young, we did it with full beer kegs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Only
What's that, a
Charlie
can of-
House.
A can of soda on the table?
No, that's a Tecate.
Oh,
Soda. Are you kidding?
that's what I'm saying. I thought I saw cola on it or Coke.
I think it's Tecate, but I could be wrong.
Well, I recognize Chris behind the beer barrel there. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing a couple of tunes with Barry.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mr. Wonderful.
Okay, so let's see what else we have.
was a
Okay, well, this is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
We hadn't seen each other for a long time. And we called Billy upstairs and said, come on down. This was in New York.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's the first time we saw each other, probably in, geez, I don't know, since the late 70s.
Yeah.
Probably so. Yeah, since probably 75 or 76.
Yeah.
That was 2011. Yeah.
I don't think I saw you either one of y'all after the club burned down, so it had to be 75 or so. Yeah, I still got that shirt. I still wear it.
I still got that shirt. I'm wearing too. In fact, Mike, I think I'm going to get some of Mike's shirts after he goes. We were talking yesterday about getting the Hawaiian shirts, and I'll take them. Are you kidding?
Get Barry shirts.
A lot of history in those shirts. Are you kidding? I'd be honored. I'll wear them well.
I don't think Ira, you weren't on, but Barry Foulon is in the hospital right now.
He is.
On IVs. He's being treated for an infection. They're trying to prevent it from going into sepsis. So he's been in there.
Oh man, when did this happen? This week, I assume.
He called me this afternoon to say he wasn't going to be on, and he'd been in the hospital for 3 days on antibiotics,
Oh,
and they were going to keep him on until he was out of danger. So
wow.
Wow.
That sounds serious.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
anything turning into sepsis is not good,
yeah,
but they're going to prevent it. That's what they're working on preventing.
that's what it sounded like. I mentioned to him. He said something about sepsis, and I said, well, my father-in-law had that before he passed. We had him in a skilled nursing for 2 weeks on an IV, before we could bring him home, So it was
Wow.
That's a rough one.
All our thoughts are with them.
yeah.
I was in the hospital.
He
about 3
sounded good. He said he wasn't going to try to get on though. So, but I'll check in with him, later tonight or tomorrow and give him a call and see what's going on.
If you get in the right hospital, you'll be taken care of properly.
And he's at Oxnard. So
That's a good hospital.
Oh,
Yeah.
When did he go in?
he said he was in there for
3 days
the
ago.
third day. He said he was in 3 days so far.
Okay.
So,
Oh, wow.
And his
Wow.
wife's a nutritionist and stuff, and she's connected with Oshner, so that should help.
Yeah.
I had to go to the hospital about 3 weeks ago. I had pneumonia.
wow.
Oh,
Oof.
I have no idea how in the world I got it. But luckily, I went to the hospital my wife just retired from. I got very good care.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
Yeah, wow.
yeah. Here's an old New Orleans picture.
oh, Maynard.
Oh,
Maynard, look at Maynard.
Maynard.
Maynard Tea Chatters.
Barry and Pete.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Maynard hadn't checked in with us again. He enjoyed himself when he got on with us.
I enjoyed it when he got on with us. He was fun.
Yeah.
He's got great stories.
Yeah. He played a trombone for us a few times during the
He did. Yeah.
he came fully equipped. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Jeff Olswang had great stories.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
he did.
It's-
Jeffrey also had a great sense of time in between him.
yeah.
When
between
Jeff
him
was
and
on,
Camarada, they could have been a comedy act on stage.
yeah, Jeff and John, when they were on, I didn't say a thing. Sit here and watch.
Well, it wasn't the quality of Jeffrey's stories; it was the way he told them.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was
He was very funny.
He could deliver he could recite the phone book and make it funny.
Here,
There he is.
Yeah.
more banjo, less bands.
Well, I had never met Little Ira until I went to the reunion. Little Ira's like that too. He's just funny to talk to.
His stories are good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom and I were talking to that before everybody got on. Well, I knew Kent, I knew Tom, I knew Fred and Roger, LaRue, and all were at the reunion, the Mustache Group, but I did not know anybody from any of the other clubs. So I wish I had known more. now I know everybody, better from doing the Zooms and going to the.
Yeah, this Zoom's been going on for 5 years. That's amazing.
Wow.
Really?
Has it really? Oh my Lord!
Why did you say that? For 5 years?
Yeah.
Yes, it has. Jeez.
I think
Thank
we
you,
need
Tom
another-
Wolf.
I think we need another reunion.
Yeah, we better do it quick.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, Chris,
He always
We'll
likes
book
to
a
have it.
smaller
in-
room.
It's got to be in New Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's from the balcony.
you were coming in April sometime.
Yeah, April is a good time.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just
Tom's,
gotta,
Tom's
gotta-
coming down next week, and he's coming again in May.
Yeah.
you just gotta beware of the French Quarter Festival and the Jazz Festival. Make sure you don't run into those dates.
Yeah.
Well, French Quarter Fest is next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday. Yeah. Jazz Fest last week in April, first in May, first week of May. So
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know where this picture came from, but I just found it in my files and
It came from my files.
okay.
oh,
In fact, it was sitting on the table.
mhm.
It came out of the clarity.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Somebody's got,
Notice then at that point in time, the people, I don't know, that's probably a weekend. That's compared to Mardi Gras Day when everybody comes out in costume.
right.
Huh.
Yeah, Bourbon Street looks like that a lot, though. I mean, it used to back when we were there.
Yeah.
Like on a Saturday, like I know they said the other clubs were like destinations, but we would just get busy because people just happen to be walking out in front.
Oh,
Prime location.
it's the
Yeah.
magic of the mustache.
And that's where the
Yeah,
skill of
Yeah.
that's where the skill of the doorman was so important because we were one of many places you could go.
Yep.
And a good doorman made a difference, right?
Right.
Because they could get people in. And then the other thing, one of the things I remember is that we were the quote clean cut place on Bourbon Street
Oh, yeah.
as compared to some
Little
of the
did they know.
bars, which is really deceiving, right? Because we were the clean cut young waiters, et cetera, you know. But if you compare us on the scale of, I don't want to say sinning, but on the scale of decadence, we were much near the wholesome side as compared to many other places, right? We weren't, you know, we
Guys, I gotta
weren't
check out. I got somewhere to go.
Okay.
I'll see you all next week.
All right.
I'll see
Maybe
ya.
we can get Mike here next week. But have a good week, everyone.
You
Take
too.
care, Howard.
Hey,
See you
You
later.
might get on, but you might want to get on early because he.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do.
he
If
kinda
he comes
fades
on, he
fast.
probably comes on early.
Yeah.
He lasted.
But you know, Kent, when we went down to New Orleans that first night, we ended up in the Mustache. 'Cause
yeah.
there was nothing else that we liked.
Well, there and also like I think we went to Pat O'Brien's, but I don't drink Hurricanes, and they were outrageously expensive. I drink beer, and then the Mustache was fun, and that's what I mean, you guys probably talked to a lot more people than we did, but it seemed like that I would see people going down, and you'd say, "Hey, come to Bob's Mustache, time your life under your nose," or whatever, and they'd come back later and go, "Yeah, this is like the nicest place here."
The home of
They didn't
coffee.
know what else went on there, but and many times they were looking for what else went on there, right?
Yeah.
So, but I had an accident after we left the Mustache that night. I had a car accident with our van. So we were kind of stuck in New Orleans, and that was okay, but we're living in the van. And then we don't have a lot of money, so we go into the tourism commission to see where the library is, and we meet this beautiful woman, and she got us jobs at the Mustache.
Who
And
was it?
Barbara,
That's Barbara Schultz.
Barbara
Yeah.
Schultz. And then I remember the first night they wanted us to start at different nights, so we weren't there the same night. And it's the first night, and the waiters get on the bar, and I'm like, I can't do that. But I thought, but I thought to myself, but Kent will be able to do this. So I got up there and did what Billy was doing. Then we get down, and Billy goes, "Wow, man, nobody gets up there the first night they work." And I go, "Good."
There you go.
The rest is history.
Yeah. Did you ever work a night when the waiters would come up to the bar and they had to have a shot of beer before they could get their order?
No, but we had plenty of beer.
Yeah, we had plenty of beer.
This is when you were working.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, we had plenty of employee drinks while you were working too.
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't.
Matter of fact, you encouraged that, Roger.
Oh, that's right.
Or else I dreamed that.
No, they used to put employee pictures up quite a few times during the night. Employee picture up, and they just go to get our beer. Yeah.
Over on the table below the buffalo head.
Yeah.
Yeah, below the buffalo. That's right.
That's right. Roger Ramjet running around.
And God knows the band didn't drink, huh?
No,
You know, if you,
no, of
to,
course
be a bar-
not. No.
to keep the job as a bartender there, you had to pour the liquor right. And so they measured it at the end of the night and all that. So if a girl's there, like if Emily comes in, I want to give her a free drink, that means somebody else is
A
either
short drink.
half of the drink or a third of the drink or something. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that got screwdrivers with nothing in them.
Oh, well.
There are a lot of girls from Newcomb and from Tulane and all
Right.
those schools uptown, Dominican, they used to come in on Wednesday night, was ladies' night, and they'd
Right.
come in and they'd be drunk and they didn't tip and they were just obnoxious, spoiled rich people. And so I remember one night we said, let's just not give them any alcohol at all and see if they get drunk on the Bloody Marys. And they did. These are really strong. Watch out. These are really strong. Pretty soon they're going, you know. Not saying there's a placebo effect, but there was a placebo effect.
Yeah.
Uh,
We used to pick those girls up sometimes on the fire truck and bring them down to the French Quarter and drop them off right in front of the club and tell them to get in there.
What could possibly go wrong with a group that picks you up on a fire truck and takes you to the French Quarter, right?
Right.
Mom and Dad would be proud of where their money's going.
Yeah. Wow, what are you doing on that fire truck?
We also did that in the car once we had the wonderful red Roadster.
That's a great car.
Yeah.
That's a cool picture there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone know where Danny's playing now?
He's still in the Bourbon Orleans, not the Bourbon Orleans,
Maison Bourbon, huh?
he's on Bourbon, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still, and we talked about it because I thought about renting a room down there for the French Quarter Fest. It was like $600 something a night. And so I said, I think I'll just Uber into town. It'd be nice just to wake up and go to the French Quarter Fest and go back to have a rest or something like that. Yeah, you know, I'll just fall asleep on a bench or something. You know, it's like, but that's crazy. But the French Quarter Fest is next week, and Mr. Wolf is going to be in town Monday through Friday, but he's doing another job, nothing to do with French Quarter Fest.
Yeah. So we're going to try to do Thursday, but we got to see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to talk to the public citizen who I'm working for.
Well, anyway, the Jazz Fest is coming up, and here's an old Jazz Fest poster. Nothing to do with music, though.
Do you remember the Jazz Fest, the last one, the only one I think we worked with? We had the Schlitz beer truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that,
It was
that
the first
trailer.
one.
Yeah, that was one of the first. Yeah, we had that trailer and we poured beer so fast that all of the regulators on the CO2 tanks froze, and then you know they had like 12, 15 taps on each side.
Just really.
And yeah, we just ran through. It was like a horse trailer with beer taps coming out the side, and it was insane how much beer we poured in a very short period of time. And it was great because that's the days back when you literally could walk around and you'd smell fried chicken cooking, and it was from some Black Baptist church, you know, and it was the best. I won't ever say anybody cooks better than my mom, but they cook better than my mom. It was just outstanding, wonderful taste I'd never tasted before. And it's like, this is good shit. I mean, I grew up in rural Missouri. We know how to cook, you know, and
Right.
it was really good. Oh, that's a good looking crew.
Yeah.
They look like they just got up. So where are we going?
Just released from jail. They should be deported. Look at those guys.
It looked like it was a rough night before.
Yeah.
Harry's got his sunglasses there to protect himself.
I think
That's probably 2 PM or something.
Gary was there. They were playing Captain Tony's back then, or was it something else, or was it? Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, well, Barry seems to be in most of the pictures.
Yeah.
He sends in
He was a band leader. What can you say?
Yeah. Okay, I'm just.
Oh, we talked about the red car. I got something here with the red car in it. Let's get it. Gotta get to it here. Well, of course, it's a black and white picture, so you can't tell it's red.
Black and white garter.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who everybody is that's in the car, but I know Pete, Maynard, Barry, Pete, Dave's driving. And I don't know who the two young ladies are, though.
Hitchhikers.
Oh, this must have been on Royal Street. That is in Bourbon.
No, they don't have that. I see some kind of an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
They don't
Arnold
have-
across
yeah,
the
this is
street.
Bourbon Street.
That's
This-
Bourbon.
Okay. That must have been the first block or something then.
Yeah, because Arnold's across the street there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's when they still had the arcade and the adult movies there.
I don't think they were on Royal.
Yeah, they were.
Huh. What's that?
That had to be what, 73? It
Probably,
was
yeah,
after we stopped wearing the vest, obviously. So
mid 70s.
Probably 73.
yeah.
73, yeah.
What was the make of the car? I can't tell from what I'm looking at.
The Ford.
Hello.
Ford.
It isn't the Model A because it's got steel beam headlights.
It was so
Sure.
funny. I had to go down to Florida to pick this up.
It's a fiberglass remake. It's
Oh,
a
fiberglass.
Oh, is it?
it's a
Oh, is it?
Mustang.
Very, very
engine
light.
and stuff.
And I was with some cute little
Hey
girls.
guys, I got to run. My daughter's bringing her cat home from the cat hospital, so I
Yeah,
got to
man.
go be a granddad or a dad, whatever it is.
Tell
Good to
her
see you. I'll
hi.
see you next week.
You
All
gotta,
right, I got to
you
run.
gotta, you gotta go care for your grandcat.
Good to
now.
see you, Ken.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
See you guys.
Thanks, Ken.
Take
Give
care,
Mary
Ken.
my best.
Stay well.
Thanks for
All right.
stopping by and seeing Mike.
Yeah, Ken.
They're
I'm
crazy.
gonna have to run too, guys.
Here's a New York shot.
That's the same car up in New York.
Yep.
Is that the same car?
Yep.
Oh, wow. How about that?
They just had your father's mustache put it on the side when it got there. When we got it in New Orleans.
And I love that they had John Murata holding a banjo.
What chord is it? What chord is that he's playing, Chris?
That's a chord of happiness.
Yeah.
It's a C distinguished F.
Oh,
Extinguished, probably. Huh?
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think I recognize one of the girls.
Thanks.
oh yes.
We won't tell.
And here's the same car in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Same car.
the same car. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never did get around to getting your father's mustache emblem on the side of the car.
They had
I just kept driving around.
they had.
Ed Alley standing up,
Yeah.
and Tom over on the far left.
Yeah.
Carol's that girl's name, Carolita.
Oh, she's the one you brought down from. Or you went and met her in Mexico or something? Well,
They meet in Mexico on the beach.
So are you standing behind her then with the fingers?
Gee, I don't know. I can't remember that. Yeah, I've been
on
down
the
in,
front porch.
in Puerto Escondido, down in Mexico. She was from Nebraska, and so it's funny how I look back at how I kept in touch with so many different people without the cell phone and internet and all that shit. I had to actually write letters, and which was fun to do. And she was in Nebraska, so I said, "Well, come on down and live with me in New Orleans." She thought that would be an exciting thing to do. So
Was that you on the front porch of that picture, Dave?
Okay, there's another, I guess the same car.
Oh yeah. That's Gene Shalit, the movie critic in
Yeah.
the back.
right there with the big.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is. That Tim Shea?
Yep. Timmy Shea, I think.
Yes, that looks like him.
That's Mark Heater, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's Mark Keeter, second from the right.
That's right.
Bob Adams.
Does he still play with a symphony orchestra now or something?
He does lots of work in New Jersey, different kinds of symphony groups and outdoor performances. He's very active.
Yeah,
He has a military band, about a dozen, 15 pieces that play brass instruments, and he plays concert music, but mostly he plays the military stuff and the circus stuff.
Yeah,
he loves the circus band.
Well, I bet that would be fun.
The circus band, a circus brass band is absolutely super to listen to. Their style of music is at lightning speed, and it's amazing. It's amazing people can do it. It really is.
What circus do they represent now?
Well, those traveling circuses. Whenever the circus goes to town, they get the best musicians around, and they suit them up and play them.
It's a Barnum and Bailey circus. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, the circuses used to travel with their leader and a couple of key horns, and then they'd hire the other dozen or so locally. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Now this is an older one.
Oh,
That's
that's 1964 because that's John Martin playing on the front on the fender rather.
And that was like an authentic car, not a fiberglass
real
rim.
car.
I think so. That was Central Park. And those were the baseball hats. We had a team on the Broadway Show League softball tournament.
it's Ron Bizel.
Yep. And there's Howard Johnson playing trumpet, tuba, I think. Could be Bobby Stewart, but I think it's Howard.
No, that's Howard. He's too dark to be Bobby.
Okay.
Was this a parade of old antique cars?
It must have been, yeah. I wasn't part of this. I was working days at that point. So
another one behind it, yeah.
That's when I started. 64.
yeah. Funny you haven't changed.
Yeah, not much, Jim.
I think this is is this older?
Yeah, I think that's older than the first one.
Well,
No,
couldn't be.
this is in the era of the changed uniforms and everything. So it was like more like 70 something.
Well, I mean old. I mean, yeah, more recent. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I noticed McLaren on top and Little Ira and
Arnie Kaltnick is driving.
Is that Dave Hunt? Does that sunglasses on? No.
John McLaren, ooh, great player.
I don't know if he still watches them. He used to send in feedback on the. He never would get on, but he would send feedback on some of the things.
Yeah, he and I exchanged notes for a long time, but I haven't heard from him in a long time now. So I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he is too. All right, next week we're going to try to have it. It just depends on who I'm working for, if I can get off on Thursday, or it depends on Billy's schedule too. So we'll let you know on Tuesday.
Okay.
Now,
Very good.
Well, wait to hear. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Thank you, Tom.
Take care. Good to see you.
Thank you,
Everybody.
Bill.
Be well, guys.
bye, y'all.
Nice to see you.
Bye, everybody.
Be
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
healthy.